is up, YouTube? It's RSMario here, bringing you another Pokemon Scarlet and Violet leaks video. Alright, so we are here with more information on Scarlet and Violet DLC. We have some Generation 10 rumors, which, of course, you know how we deal with that around here. Take it with a grain of salt. It very well could be fake, but it's interesting enough to talk about, though. You know what I'm saying? We got Riddler Khu talking about, you know, some possible legendary Pokemon information, some information on Terapagos and the ability. We got Centro throwing some stuff into the ring as well. We're going to talk about all that today on this very late video that did not come out on time because I had some holiday stuff I had to do. But it is what it is, though. You know, we fashionably late around here. And of course, if you want to be fashionably late like me and continue getting videos from me, like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell button, do all that good stuff that YouTube requires you to do to continue getting videos from me. Follow me at twitter.com/rsmario128. Like my video tweet, share my video tweet, and I will shout you out at this portion of the video. Alright, so I have a question for you. Are you ready? It's not a reference to DX. It's actually our first Riddler Khu tweet today. So that was what he tweeted. Are you ready? Now, of course, this looks kind of innocuous, and it looked like this might actually be connected to a tweet from Centro that we're going to get in right after this. But it's the way he wrote this, though. Are you ready? You know what I'm saying? So, are you in competitive Pokemon is actually a tier of competitive Pokemon. Because, you know, competitive Pokemon has tiers. You know, you have OU, which is overly used. You have UU, which is the GOAT tier. That's where I live. Underused. You know what I'm saying? And then you have RU, which is rarely used. And basically, it's just like, you know, how often Pokemon are used in battle. That's how they're put into these different tiers and categories of the meta. You know what I'm saying? And so RU is a meta tier in Pokemon competitive play. So maybe he's saying that there's going to be some big competitive stuff in the works for this DLC. We do know that the Pokéhex feature is going to be in the DLC. And maybe that's gonna, maybe that's gonna involve the tiers in some way. I seriously doubt Nintendo and Pokemon would, admit the existence of the metagame and Smogon and stuff like that. So this could be completely different, but that's the only reason I can think of why he would write it that way. The other reference is our next tweet here, where Centro says, returning legendaries in the Indigo Disc can be shiny hunted, making it the first time some Pokemon like Anamoris or Calyrex can be caught in their shiny forms. And so, of course, the last tweet we got from Riddler Khu, it had a shiny, one of the shiny horses, and it had Anamoris as shiny. So, maybe that's what he was also hinting at. You know what I'm saying? Now, of course, somebody asked the question, while Wise Gaming Owl Productions asked the question, what about legendary horses and cub food? And then Centro said, yes, those are the only non-Generation 9 legendaries that remain shiny locked. So that's kind of some conflicting information because, one of the legendary horses was in the Q tweet, so I don't know. It's weird. But so it looks like we could possibly be able to shiny hunt legends in Indigo Disc. Would actually be cool. Like, that would actually make me want to shiny hunt again, because I haven't really been into shiny hunting since like Generation 4. You know what I'm saying? To be honest, so I'm cool with that. Of course, the next Riddler Khu tweet, we have Bug Mascot Win, and he has a picture of this really cool looking Genesect model, which I'm like, where do you get these? I want one of these. I'll go be honest. So then Lumio's post pops up and it says, I would like to believe that this is a tease that to the mythical being a bug type. Please let me believe this. We are due another one. But for real, we need more bug types, especially bug type legendaries. So then Q says mythical type is already known. So Now I asked Riddler Khu in the replies what riddle or leak or whatever was a reference to the mythical, and he never replied because nobody likes me, But yeah, so one of the leaks we've already covered actually references the mythical's type, which again I don't know which one to go back to look up. You know what I'm saying? Because the last thing we were talking about as far as typing is Terapagos and Dokutaro. So unless Dokutaro is the mythical, which that could very well be possible, but I always thought the mythical would be a completely different Pokemon. But speaking of different Pokemon, we have 2 Riddler Khu tweets about the abilities of Pokemon in Indigo Disc. The first one is a picture of that new 3D render of Terapagos, which looks massive, and it says its ability is defensive. You know what I'm saying? And then under that, somebody said Prisma Rex says, I hope it can ignore Mold Breaker like effects. And then Riddler Khu says the little one is immune to wheezing gas. So of course wheezing gas is neutralizing gas for Galarian wheezing, which basically neutralizes all abilities with the exception of a few. And so this ignores that ability. So the little Terapagos ignores that ability. So this tells us a couple things. One, it tells us that Big Terapagos' ability probably doesn't do that. It's defensive, but it doesn't do that. And 2, it tells us that little Terapagos and Big Terapagos have different abilities. Alright, so they don't have the same ability. Alright, so they're both new abilities, but they're different. And then the next one, Riddler Khu says its ability is dope. So now this is where it gets interesting, right? Because he says, now I've been telling you all 4 new abilities. New moves are dope too. Sudachi 2 is less than a month away now. So here's the thing that's interesting about this. He doesn't say Terapagos or big one or small one. He just says its ability is dope. So that could reference the fact that whatever the world turtle is could be different from Terapagos. Now I could be wrong, I could be overthinking this, and he could actually be referencing Terapagos, or he could be referencing a different Pokemon altogether. You know what I'm saying? Because we know now that Terapagos probably is not the mythical. So maybe this world turtle Pokemon is the mythical. You know what I'm saying? Again, we don't really know. Take it with a grain of salt. At least when it comes from me anyway. You know what I'm saying? Because this is my speculation on what the rumors actually mean. So then we go on to the next Riddler Khu tweet, and he says, oops, sus. And so then he has a picture of a Tera Pokemon. I can't really see what it is because there's so much light effects going on. And then there is a Tera Pikachu right beside it. So a lot of people are saying this is a reference to there being different Tera hats for special like event Teras, right? And that one of them is probably going to be Surfing Pikachu. Now I think I referenced this in a video before. I feel like I have. I just can't remember which video. I've done so many of these leaked videos now. I can't remember which video I referenced this in, but I know I did. I know I've referenced this in a video before, and I can't think of which one it is. And I don't really have time to go back and look through all my videos to see. But a Surfing Pikachu is a possibility. And now, if you haven't been in a game for a long time, Surfing Pikachu's been around for a minute. Alright, like since like Pokemon Yellow, I feel like. You know what I'm saying? A Pikachu that can learn Surf. You know what I'm saying? You can surf on that Pikachu. And of course, it can use Surf to hit like rock and ground Pokemon and stuff like that. So it would be interesting to reference Surfing Pikachu with like a big event Tera with a special Tera hat that's like a surfboard, or maybe the Pikachu itself is surfing. You know what I'm saying? Something crazy like that. And honestly, that would be a really cool event, to do. You know what I'm saying? You can have like a Surfing Pikachu, You can have like Pikachu with the balloons, you know, a flying Tera Pikachu or whatever. You can have all kinds of cool ones. So, Crystal Onyx. We could get Crystal Onyx. I mean, I'm just saying. All right, I'm just saying, you know. So the next one is this one. He dropped with Omni-Man. So he says, what is the authentic name of this type? We can't call it a number all day, every day, right? And then he says, it says pick unrelated. So, you know what I'm saying? It's got the Tera type, the new Tera type, and then it's got Omni-Man. So, of course, the common thing is to just call it Omni Type. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, it's probably gonna counter like all types or something. It's probably gonna be like a counter all Tera, you know what I'm saying? Or, you know what I'm saying, it's something in that vein. So it might not be called Omni Type itself, but it's gonna essentially be an Omni Type Tera, you know. Alright, so we're approached near the end of this here video. We have the Generation 10 rumors. Now, of course, when it comes to Generation 10, usually I automatically go to it being fake. Because, I mean, Generation 10, they probably have barely started that game, or at least pre-work on that game. So I seriously doubt that there's like in-depth stuff that people could leak right now. I doubt it very seriously. You know what I'm saying? If it was like, you know, Gen 5 remakes or, you know, BW3, okay, maybe I would consider it, but you know what I'm saying? When it comes to nah. But when it comes to any type of Pokemon rumor, you know, you always have to be prepared and protect yourself with today's sponsor, Salt. Salt! Now in soul flavor. So when you want to protect yourself from unsubstantiated rumors from the bowels of the internet, but also want your food to taste like it was cooked by a black person, Salt. Now with soul. Protecting you from unsubstantiated rumors for generations. Get yourself a grain of salt today, so you won't be salty. Hey, y'all like that, John, right? You know what I'm saying? I'm almost a real YouTuber, bro. You know what I'm saying? I got sponsors. So of course, so we start off with the Gen 10 stuff. So we have a Korean leaker. All right. So for Atarxia, I actually found this when I was looking for Super Nintendo Switch leaks. And I ran across this because he also had a Super Nintendo Switch post. And he basically says Pokemon's next work is a remake version of the 5th generation Black 2 and White 2. Now, that's already a little bit suspicious because they never remake the sequels. They always remake the original. You know, so if there was a remake of Gen 5, it would be of Black and White. It wouldn't be Black and White 2. It will be released as a single version, and future remake versions will be classified in the Legend series. So how can it be a remake of Black and White 2 if they're only going to release one, which means it's going to be a remake of Black or White 2, and it's going to be a Legends game, which means it's not really a remake, it's a different because Legend Arceus was not a remake of Generation 4, it was a telling of a different story in the Generation 4 region, or a version of the Generation 4 region. It wasn't a remake. BDSP was the remake. That was the whole reason why BDSP exists, because they needed a remake because, you know what I'm saying, people want Pokemon remakes. You know, that's a part of the cycle, you know. So Legends Arceus wasn't a remake. That's 2 strikes for this. And then the Generation 10 main works are not currently being developed, and only the major foundations are being designed for the release in 2025. The open world format will be maintained, which is expected. The reason why the 10th generation main game will be released in 2025 is related to the normal release interval and the development of the next Switch console. The expected motif of the 10th generation region is Africa. So that is actually really interesting. I did a video a couple years ago about essentially Nintendo trying to figure out ways to to kind of like do characters of color, you know what I'm saying, or a region of color or what have you. But that wasn't pertains to Fire Emblem. So doing it for Pokemon would actually be pretty interesting. And then of course Centro also dropped something like this recently, saying it's interesting to think that at this point the Gen 10 region features and most of all the Pokemon designs have already been decided, which I can kind of see that, you know what I'm saying? Maybe not in finality, but at least what they want to do is probably already decided. So, tell me what you think down in the comments. You know what I'm saying? You think Gen 10 is coming? You know what I'm saying? Do you believe this stuff? Do you think it's fake? Tell me in the comments down below. And of course, like, comment, subscribe, and as always, people, keep it real.